Let's move on to chapter 2. We're going to focus on America in the English colonies. England emerges. One reason why England becomes a very powerful country that begins exploring is the defeat of the Spanish Armada. And this is Spain's naval force, and England is able to defeat them. And you can see it's this long journey and this long battle that takes place all over England, Ireland, Spain, Portugal, etc. Three types of English colonies that you will definitely need to know in North America. We have a charter, and a charter is a group of people that get together and they pool all their money together. And any profit they get, they will share, and any losses that they lose, they will share as well. And a very famous colony that is a charter colony is Jamestown or Virginia. Another one that you need to know is a proprietorship, and this is very similar to charter, except an individual receives land. It's not a group of people, it is an individual. And Maryland and Lord Baltimore is a very famous proprietorship, and also William Penn in Pennsylvania. He was a Quaker, he received land as well. So these are land grants from the King of England. And finally, we have a royal colony, which is simply that the British government, the British crown, is in charge. And Georgia is an example of a royal colony. Definitely commit these three to memory, guys, though you'll need to know these. Chesapeake Bay. When we're talking about the Chesapeake Bay, we're talking about Maryland and Virginia. And let's take a look why. Here's the Chesapeake Bay. Maryland is to the north and to the east, and Virginia is to the west and south. So the Chesapeake Bay is part of the southern colonies, but it applies only to Maryland and Virginia. And the other thing to know, for a very long time, the predominant source of labor in the Chesapeake Bay was indentured servants, and this happens until Bacon's Rebellion. And John Rolfe, he is associated with Jamestown. He introduces tobacco, and he saves the colony. Instantly, Jamestown becomes very profitable once tobacco comes into play. The type of government, they had an early form of representative government called the House of Burgesses. This was established in 1619, and white landowning males were able to vote. The nearby Native Americans was the Powhatan Confederacy, neighboring Native American tribes, and they fell victim to the three Ds: disease, disorganization, and disposability. They died due to disease, they were disorganized, they were not a united group, and they were easily disposed by the British because they saw no need for them. Some key terms associated with Maryland and Virginia. Maryland, Lord Baltimore, again, it's a proprietorship. In Maryland, the Maryland Acts of Toleration are passed, and this is one of several different types of religious freedom ideas that you need to know from early American history. And it guarantees religious toleration to all Christians only. This did not apply to Jews. This did not apply to any other group besides Christians. And predominantly, Maryland was established as a safe haven for Catholics. We also have indentured servants. Again, as I mentioned, they were their predominant labor source, and they worked for a period of 5 to 7 years in exchange for passage to America. Georgia is going to be the buffer colony. This is the last of the original 13 colonies. This was a royal colony. It was established as a buffer or for protection from the Spanish in Florida and the French in the Louisiana Territory. And it was also established as a penal colony for debtors. So let's take a look at Georgia. Down here is Florida, controlled by the Spanish. And over here is the Louisiana Territory, controlled by the French. So if either one of them wanted to get to South Carolina, they would have to go through Georgia, and it would be a buffer. James Oglethorpe, he is the leading statesman in Georgia. He is considered the founder of Georgia, and he repelled Spanish attacks. And also later in 1750, Georgia adopts the plantation system modeled after South Carolina, and that's when they become very successful financially. Okay, that's it for chapters 1 and 2, guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to ask that you please email me or put them in the comments. Also, if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. You will get updates every time I make a new video. If you know anybody that would benefit from this, other AP students, please spread the word. I want to reach as many AP students as possible. And James Oglethorpe wishes that you'll subscribe here so you get lots of nuggets of wisdom.